What's good, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac. Man, get on up here. Pull you up one, light you up one, kick your shoes off, relax, baby. You around family. We on the porch. It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this. What's going on, family? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac, and welcome back to the porch once again, man. Oh, man, this episode, this past week, hey, man, a lot went on, man. Hey, man, y'all go get what y'all gonna pull up. Y'all gonna get what y'all gonna roll up. And hopefully that's all you gonna do. If you gonna do some of that other stuff, I know I kind of said, you know, whatever gets you in the mood, but kind of, you know, if you do anything other than pull up or roll up, man, kind of keep that away from the porch. You know, let me just say going to the end of 2025, we ain't really supporting none of that because, you know, I just seen somewhere where they said a new study is being conducted where, at least in America, alcoholism is down to its lowest point in, I think they said decades, and I had to realize that's because people doing fucking hard-ass drugs. That's why it's down. That's just like when they said teenage alcohol abuse is down significantly because these kids want to do dope. They want to be the dope heads now. I remember growing up, we wanted to be the dope boys. We aspired to be like the dope boys. These kids are aspiring to be like the dope heads. Like doing coke is cool and all that type of shit. I remember growing up, anything harder, two things harder than weed that I know people was doing was pills and lean. That was it. Like, if it was anything other than pills and lean, other than weed, we were sitting there like, oh no, something wrong with your ass. Like, it wasn't until like I literally started doing comedy, and hell, I'm gonna be honest with you, being in the military, that I started seeing coke come into play. You know, I wasn't doing the coke, but I would see others do the coke. Like, cause I found this out from one of my Navy buddies. We went out and I saw him kind of indulging. I'm like, bro, you ain't worried about this. Like, bro, it's Friday. We going into the weekend. They don't piss over the weekend. And coke is only in your system 36 hours. I'm be good by Monday. I'm like, oh, damn. That's when I learned that the military has some of the biggest drug addicts you will ever meet. But I digress. Let's get on to number one thing jumping off the porch this week. This past Thursday, my fraternity, the oldest, the coldest of all black Greeks, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated, celebrated 119 years of existing. I'm be honest with y'all, I was busy. Thursday, December 4th, so I didn't really get to put up a status, anything like that. The only reason I really remember that it being December 4th, my sister, Shermanique, she's an AKA, which is our sorors, because we're the first black Greek fraternity. They're the first black Greek sorority. So that's why we got the fraternity sorority connection. Loud love is what they call it. Yeah, she put that up and gave me a shout out as well as the rest of the brothers. So that's the only reason I'm aware that it had passed. Man, music. Only new music we had was from L.E. Dollar Sign. He had Steak and Shrimp Volume 4, straight banger. He only had one feature on there. Of course, that was Bun B. He kept it real playeristic, real Texas. It's real smooth, chill, or drive music, man. I'm gonna give it a 10 for 10 because it didn't start out smooth. Then we got some hype shit. Then we got some retrospective shit. It was just smooth, playlistic, chill vibe, drive music from top to bottom. So I love it so much. Sad thing about this week, man, me being a 90s kid, my childhood took a big loss. Well, took two big losses this week. First loss we suffered from my childhood being a 90s kid is Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. He died Thursday night. For those of y'all who not familiar with that name, you know who this guy is. I'm going to say one thing to let you know. Your soul is mine. That's right. Shang Tsung. That's who he played in the 1995 live action version of the movie of the video game Mortal Kombat. He played Shang Tsung, the one who took Liu Kang to war. Oh man, yeah, him and Liu Kang battled. They went like, so somebody broke down that battle in the terms of actually playing the video game that he had with Liu Kang. They said if you look at it, Liu Kang won round 1. Shang Tsung won round 2. And then the third one, Liu Kang beat him all the way down without getting a hit. That's why at the end, if you remember watching the movie, after Liu Kang kills him, he says, flawless victory. So that's how when somebody broke that down, I said, damn, y'all broke it down to the essence of the video game, man. But yeah, I also, that was kind of hurt my heart. Also, if y'all don't remember, Disney Channel, kid, y'all remember when Disney Channel used to have them Disney Channel original movies, late 90s, early 2000s, Johnny Tsunami. He was the older Johnny Caporal. The original Johnny Tsunami, or grandpa. He was Johnny's grandpa. That was him. And also, if you remember watching American Me, which is probably up there one of the. So here's the thing. Anybody, y'all watch the Boondocks? The Boondocks, you remember how Tom Dubois said he didn't want to go to jail because he saw a movie and it depicted anal rape. So that steered him to be straight and narrow, to not even smoke a joint. He just didn't want to break any laws because he didn't want to end up in jail. Especially, he know being a black man, the slightest thing put you in jail. They said he watched the movie and saw that. I always pictured that it was American Me that he saw. My homeboy Sonny said he think it was Penitentiary. Now, if you don't know about Penitentiary, y'all ask your dads or your granddads about the movie Penitentiary with Leon Kennedy. And boy, that, yeah, I heard the woof. I can't watch it. But no, he played one of the members of Miami, you know, the prison gang that Edward James Amos character was in the movie. He played the character El Chapo. Yeah, but like he's going, I'm talking about that's a big part of 90s pop culture for me that's gone. Cause like y'all, like I said, you remember in the end of American Me when they stabbed Edward James Amos' character and they asked him was he coming out to do it, and he said no, and he stood tall and they were stabbing him. He was just sitting there just looking somberly because he knew his time was coming next. Because if you watch the movie, you know any member of Miami showed a sign of weakness, they had to get them out of there because they had to show a tough united front at all times. But yeah, R.I.P. to Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. Big part of the 90s gone. Damn. Also, another big part of the 90s in the sports world, former NBA star Eldon Campbell passed away Tuesday night. Eldon Campbell, you know, like, so after the 80s, the LA Lakers kind of fell off. You know, after they lost to Jordan Bulls in 91, you know, they kind of fell off. They hit dark times in LA. He was part of that mid-90s reemergence of the Lakers going back to dominance. And I remember him because I remember, if anybody had Nintendo 64, y'all remember NBA's courtside featuring Kobe Bryant. That was Kobe Bryant's game that he sponsored. I remember that game because I remember this was one of the first times when you didn't need a memory card. You could trade people on that and the game would save that memory. Oh, I used to love that. So I remember, and I'm going back and looking, I can't say, but for some reason I remember I would play with the Lakers a hell of a lot. I wouldn't play with the Bulls because, you know, you had Jordan on the team back in the day. They didn't have Jordan on there. They had player 89 or player 98, roster player, that was his name, and he fit all the things Jordan had. Was 6'6", years in the league, went to North Carolina. Only thing is he would have a fade and be a little bit darker than Jordan. That was because they didn't have Jordans like this. Now, I used to play with the Lakers a lot. And for some reason, I remember that Lakers starting five being Nick Van Exel, Kobe Bryant, Eddie Jones, Eldon Campbell, and Shaq. Yeah, Nick was running one, Kobe was two, Eddie Jones was three, Eldon Campbell was the four, and Shaq was five. Because Eldon Campbell actually was a center, but he rotated to power forward when Shaq got there. But when I go back and look it up now, they don't have Eddie Jones and Kobe Bryant playing on the starting five, which I swear to God, it must be a Mandela effect. I swear I remember them two playing on the starting five, because I remember I used to always get them mixed up. I used to always get Eddie Jones and Kobe Bryant mixed up. But anyway, that's the starting five from the Lakers. I remember when the NBA's courtside feature Kobe Bryant came out. I remember the starting five is Nick the Quick Van Exel, Kobe Bryant, or Kobe Bean Bryant before he became Black Mamba, Eddie Jones, Eldon Campbell, and Shaq. And for Eldon Campbell to play for the Lakers, that had to be a dream come true for him, because Eldon Campbell grew up in Inglewood and played at Morningside High School in Inglewood, which is a known basketball powerhouse. Also is the high school where Lisa Leslie went to, where she scored, I think, was 105 points in a game. It was either a game and a half. I don't know if it was 105 points. She scored that back in the day. So him getting to play for the LA Lakers, who was at the Great Western Forum in Inglewood at the time he was playing, that's probably got to be a dream come true for him as a kid from the wood, you know. That's one of my favorite movies, you know. So of course I'm gonna call it The Wood. Yeah, they say the cause of his death was unknown. He was 57 years old. Our thoughts and prayers go out to Eldon Campbell's family. You know, thank you for the memories you gave us with sports in the 90s, man. See you on the Lakers, it was a thing of beauty. Thank you, and may you rest in peace, man. Keeping on with NBA basketball and in LA, matter of fact, in Inglewood, because this team now is in Inglewood now, which is crazy, because who would have thought that the Lakers and the Clippers would switch? But we're going to talk about Chris Paul. He has been cut by the Clippers during this final season of his. Now I don't understand why the Clippers would do that. This man has given us like over 20 years of a career. He's been trying to get a ring. He realized he's not going to get a ring. Let the man finish. That's some bullshit on the Clippers' part. Everybody was like, well, they not doing good. They probably would have cut. Man, first of all, y'all the fucking Clippers. That is traditional. That y'all not going to do good. Like, except for them years like doing that Donald Sterling bullshit, when they somewhat was decent, you know, they had DeAndre Jordan, you know, Jamal Crawford, Blake Griffin, and all them boys when they, and I think Chris Paul went there. You know what I'm saying? They had all of them guys there. Wait a minute, was Chris Paul? I can't remember. But you know, y'all saw the shit on Hulu and all that, but like I said, definitely Jamal Crawford was there, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan was there. They had their merger. Even everybody looking like the Clippers is actually doing better than the Lakers. So yeah, man, y'all should let that man finish. To cut him, and that's a blatant fuck you to a man who is going to be a first ballot Naismith Hall of Fame, Basketball Hall of Fame recipient, man. You could let that man roll it out this last year, man. Just Clippers, y'all get what y'all deserve for doing that, you know, because karma's a motherfucker. And we're going to get into karma later on in this episode, because what I'm going to talk about, karma really came back to bite somebody. On to the NFL. My Broncos squeaked out another one, sending them 10-2. They squeaked out against the Washington Commanders 27-26, and we still rolling, man. I'm happy we got one of the best records in not just the AFC and the NFL, but the way we keep winning is because of that defense. I know it's because Surtain is back, but I'm just saying it's just too close for comfort. And Tony Romo said it a couple weeks ago. He was like, unless their offense can really get to clicking like the defense, he said, I don't see the Super Bowl for him. And I kind of honest this God, I would like for them to go Super Bowl, but I don't want them to go and embarrass me like they did against the Seahawks back in 2014. when they got their ass spanked 42 to 8? Yeah, I don't want to see that. So I'm going to need them to step it up. Now, what I need a total overhaul of going down to college football, Florida State need to do an overhaul because I am so disappointed with the way the season ended. 5-7. And we lost the one game. If y'all been paying attention this whole season, what I've been talking about, I was confident that we was going to win this game. But they shit the bed in what is becoming true Seminole fashion. Florida State, who went into the game 5-6, lost to the 3-8 Florida Gators 21-40. That should have been the one game we should have won all year. Like I said, I don't understand how we give Alabama hell. We gave them hell. Could have won by 3 scores, but then they started doing stupid shit down the pipe. How we beat them convincingly. And they have only lost one other game since playing us. Been on the road, just been knocking motherfuckers, turning motherfuckers every which way loose. We, on the other hand, just act like we never played a game of football in our life. You know, and why Mike Norvell is still able to have a job is beyond me, because I don't understand this, because the man in the 4 to 6 seasons he's been head coach, he has failed to make a bowl game. This man must, like I said, have damning evidence on the president of Florida State University, the provost, the dean, the athletic director, girls basketball coach, girls volleyball coach, professor of economics, something, a lot of other people, for him to be able to have a job after having a mediocre tenure as head football coach for Florida State Seminoles. We got to do better. Hopefully they can rectify this, and I hope somebody comes to their senses and say, hey man, we changed our mind. We're gonna just pay you out. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here. Go somewhere else. Because he and Jimbo Fisher have showed me one thing. They getting over on Bobby Bowden's name. With Jimbo Fisher, I'm gonna be honest, he ended up winning with the last batch of Bobby Bowden's recruits. And Mike Norvell, I'm gonna say the little bit of talent that Jimbo Fisher had, Mike Norvell won with him. But yeah, he with his own shit, he ain't got a damn clue. They need to get rid of that man. He made a mockery out of Florida State football, which, as long as I can remember, has been synonymous with being a powerhouse in college football. Just thoroughly disappointed this season. I can't even say good season. No, that was terrible. That was terrible. You guys sucked. That's all I got to say. Moving on into the world of television. Hey man, I'm not gonna really go into detail about the latest episode of Power Book 4 Force. All I'm gonna say is this episode that premiered yesterday, episode 5 of this final season. Man, hey, they came with it. I guess they felt like, man, we lose 10, we got to do something. It was a lot of stuff in there that was like, oh my God. Like, it was 2 big takeaways from this episode. One, I kind of seen coming for the last couple episodes, because one of these characters, they was doing some stuff so I could see this coming, but the other one did not expect it. So I'm going to just tell y'all, sit down and watch that, because I don't want to spoil that for y'all. Y'all need to watch that. That one had me like, oh my God, towards the end. I couldn't believe it. So definitely was a good episode. Kind of see how they going to wrap it up, because, I'm guessing if they do like traditional 10 episode season, we halfway there, so we got to see. So we on the downs slope now. We coming down, so we got to see how they bring it down now. Speaking of wrapping up, so Bel-Air released their second block of episodes for this 4th and final season. It's going to be 8 episodes, but they released episode 4 and 5. I'm happy because beginning of episode 4, my heart started smiling. Jackie was back. Jackie came back because I knew from they were showing the recap. I'm like, yeah, she finna come back. Oh, yes. She actually got accepted into Juilliard, which is good. And Viv did some real G shit. She had invited Jackie over to the house, invited Lisa over there and told her, look, y'all need to sit down and talk. Y'all don't need to fall out over no man, especially as black women. We can't be doing this. So they sat there and they talked, and they had a truce and all. Now, what they end up doing, so Will is trying to get back into basketball. He tried to see about trying to get on at USC. So he ends up seeing a player on USC's team that happens to be from Philly. So he talked to Philly, talked to him, ends up going into the party. And he invites Carlton. With now, the thing with this is Will and Carlton had the community service that they got sentenced to help them not have charge press against them for the car that they smashed up, or the people that kidnapped Will. They had to go do that. And the person who's over the community service organization, they got Unc in there. Snoop Dogg is over, and he talking that talk like he always do. Oh, I love Snoop. Snoop needs to do more comedic acting, because, boy, he had me rolling. He was LBC all the way in there. Yeah. So they have to get out there and get to where they got a community service thing. Certain type of Will's trying to talk to the guy. You know, they're doing all kind of stuff. So while they're there, obviously Jackie and Lisa, they somehow ran into a mirror, and she came to Porch. Oh, yeah, let me back up. So the episodes open up with the dean at Bel-Air Prep inviting Carl to office. The black lady who'd been trying to, like, pretty much take Carl on the wing, look out for him. So she invites off, and Amir's in there, and she was talking about in the essay how he said he almost drowned in a pool after overdosing. And she said, well, this is identical to Amir. So Carter thinking she's going to blame him and call him a liar. She calls Amir a liar. And Carter's in shock, and Amir walks off, and she was like, now you going to sit there and talk about lying and all. I'm sitting there like, bitch, you known for lying. Which I give Amir this, because Amir did end up saying something when Carlton tried to reconcile with, like, look, I'm sorry for lying. She's like, well, it ain't like I told lies. She said, you remember whole fake dead sister? And I sat there and said, thank you. Accountability. But she said Carter had to make it up to her. And then what Carter ended up doing to make it up to her, she ended up having them, and it's another throwback to the series. I love they doing our throwback series. He started doing the jump on it, the Apache jump on it dance by Sugar Hill, and he kind of was looking stupid by himself till Will came out there. Then they started choreographing, then they turned the party out. So they do that. They end up going. They didn't make it in time, but Snoop gave them another chance. And by doing that, the guy that's on the team from Philly said, hey, man, I love how you looked out for your cousin. I'm going to talk to coach. He going to come see you one of your games. And another thing that was in there, Lisa and Jackie end up talking. And Jackie was like, I haven't talked to my mom, you know. And Lisa was like, look, I got my mom. My mom's not there. You got a chance, you need to talk to her. So Jackie calls her and tells she got in Juilliard. They reconcile. So it's showing, you know, forgiveness is not always waiting for somebody to say they sorry. Sometimes you got to forgive them for you. And I get that. But, you know, sometimes people can go too far and you don't owe nobody their forgiveness. What you need to do is I'm a firm believer in this. Forgive them for yourself and then keep it pushing. That don't mean you got to fuck with them no more. If you want to, cool. If you don't, yeah. But whatever, forgive them for yourself. You know. Now, throughout this whole 2-season ordeal, my man Jazz is messing with one of Aunt Bill's friends. Can't remember the name, but I know she played by Jill Marie Jones, who y'all remember that name. That is Tony Childs from Girlfriends. And he's messing with her. Man, I feel so bad for Jazz, because come to find out the woman married. I don't know what it is. Jazz be having the worst luck with women. And Jill Marie Jones always plays a scandalous ass woman who be fucking around on her man. Oh man, I just feel sorry for that. And Uncle Phil, speaking of Jazz, he, with his legacy heights thing that he's doing to help clean his money with Dominique, that's the lady who ran the gang that Jeffrey used to be in back in London. He goes to Jazz, puts him down as an investor, but obviously it's been traced. Something happened because, like, when Viv had questioned, I'm gonna call her Tony Childs. Like I said, I can't remember the woman's name. She questioned Tony Childs about it. She said, well, whoever's doing it, they not doing a good job, because the feds can easily track that. And the feds came to the door, so we don't know what's gonna happen with Jazz. Like I said, Coco Jones, she was there on FaceTime again. Like I said, she must got something else she working on, but they still want to keep her part of it. Phil realized he didn't spend enough time with Carlton and Will, teaching them practical life skills, so he decides he's going to have them work on this car. They're not taking this as Phil gets pissed. I'm going to say this about Adrian Holmes. That man plays a convincing pissed off man. Because when he got mad at them, because like they was bullshitting, Will broke the window off. It was 6'5" Mustang, and Will was like, we get some glue and duct tape, and the way he started going, y'all don't take shit serious, and the way, boy, I felt like I disappointed my father. So Adrian Holmes definitely, when he get upset in there, like they say James Avery as Uncle Phil, when he get pissed was scared, but no, Adrian Holmes, that man just, he turned to somebody else. Cause usually he laid back reserved, but no, he went the fuck off. So he definitely did his big one acting in this. Trying to think of what else happened. Oh yeah, the lady Erica who tried to holler at Uncle Phil last year, come to find out she doing a single mother thing because Viv went to Lamar's class and she was there. She like a froze my eggs and all, and they reconciled. You know, basically it was showing moving on, forgiving people, taking accountability for stuff. It was like I said, this last block that comes out next week, we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it. It's been 4 years of following the Banks and with Will Smith, and I'm just interested to see how it's gonna end for everybody. But this 2-block episode definitely loved it. Like I've been told y'all, I loved Hallmark Christmas movies. You know, just put them on to watch, kill time, you know, the simple form. So there was a Hallmark Christmas movie that I watched on Netflix original. Of course I was going to watch this because, like I said, y'all know I'm a 90s kid, and this one took me back to the 90s big time. It's called A Merry Little Xmas, and it stars Alicia Silverstone. She stars as Kate, a recently separated woman who's about to divorce her husband. You know, she was wanted to be an architect in Boston, but she ended up marrying this doctor from this town called Winterlight. Moved with him. You know that I watch them Hallmark movies. They go to this town. Everybody know everybody. Just Christmas is a big thing. And she ends up basically knowing how to fix shit for everybody. She's a handy woman for the whole town, putting her dreams on hold, raising her children. Her daughter ends up going over to Oxford. Her son's trying to go to college. She wants her son to go to college because she don't want him to end up like her. But he's like, I like it here, and I want to be a firefighter. You know, it was a good-hearted thing. It also touched my soul for the 90s because they had Melissa Joan Hart in them. For those y'all don't know, that is either you met her like I did as Clarissa Darling on one of the Flag flag shows for Nickelodeon, Clarissa Explains It All, or you met her on TGIF a few years later as Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And if you remember how I knew it was her, I heard her voice, but then I saw her in that outfit because that body was bodying. And I knew from that body, I was like, that's Melissa Joan Hart. And they closed up on her face, Melissa Joan Hart. Because I don't know if y'all remember, it was one episode of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She ended up having to put this like skimpy ass dress on. That's when I realized, like, damn, I didn't know Melissa Joan Hart was caked up like that. And she still was looking like that. The only thing is, she's starting to look like she's about 40, 50 something years old. Because Lisa Silverstone, she looking to it, and it's just like, oh, that's not Cheryl. Because I used to have the biggest crush on both of them in the 90s. I remember that because I remember crushing on both of them and my older cousins, my older cousin Gabe and LaToya. They ain't like that. They were like, oh, they did not like me liking them two white women. They didn't at all. And they tried their best to steer me towards everybody else. But I was like, no, I like these two white women. Ain't nothing wrong with them women, but them two white women here are cute. But yeah, just, ooh, Lord, it was good. Also in this movie, Jeffrey C. Owens is in there. For those y'all don't know that name, you know that name because he popped up. That's Elvin, Sandra's boyfriend / husband on the Cosby Show. The one that was real chauvinistic, the one Claire had to like read like a Dr. Seuss book on many occasions. He was in there. And I kind of feel bad because it's something I don't like they be doing black. They had him as one of Alicia Silverstone's, the character that played her husband. He was one of his gay fathers. And it just, nothing against the gay community. I'm real big on Hollywood emasculating black men. Don't get twisted, they was funny. Both the dads was funny. They was humorous. They like, when some scenes needed a humorous touch, they provided, but I didn't like what he was doing. Now, my only thing I hate, like I said, the movie definitely ends like you expect it to end. Her and her husband, they separate, but all throughout the movie, they show they still love each other, and they get back together, of course. Only thing I didn't like about this movie, they was playing in their respective partners' faces. And them people didn't deserve that. They ended up getting together in the end. They respective partners ended up getting together in the end, which you saw that coming. I mean, because the husband, his girlfriend was a hot-ass British woman, and the guy she was using to make him jealous was like this motherfucker was like a damn superhero stripper. And, of course, they end up hooking up with each other. But yeah, for them playing in them people's face, that's the only time I'm like, nah, I don't like that shit. That was very disrespectful. But other than that, it was a good Hallmark movie to watch. I enjoyed it, you know. It was funny at times, you know. And like I said, I don't mind seeing Alicia Silverstone and Melissa Joan Hart, even though you can tell Melissa Silverstone is damn near 50. But I'm still seeing Cher in the little yellow outfit going as if going through Beverly Hills High School. So I watched it for the 90s nostalgia with the two 90s crushes that I had. Now, on to the last thing. I'm still on Netflix. Now, on to what I just seen a couple of days ago. I finished it. The 50 Cent produced 4-episode documentary about Diddy, Puffy, Sean Combs, whatever the hell you want to call them, go by, like the Sean Combs, A Reckoning. I'm going to say this about 50 Cent. To anybody who get on that man's bad side, may God help you. That man is going to spare no expense to make your ass look bad. He is trying to destroy you. But you know the sad thing about it is, as fucked up as a person as Diddy is, I ain't even mad at 50 for what he did. Because this man here is just a demon. They exposed some stuff we never know. So I knew this about him. I knew that his father, Melvin Combs, was a hustler in Harlem. I worked with Frank Lucas, if I'm not mistaken. It was Frank Lucas or Nicky Barnes. Hell, he might have dabbled for both of them. He got killed when he was little. So Puffy tried to grow up emulating that. You know, his mom, Janice, she tried to say, I remember when the Actor Studio in 2010 tried to say, oh, she worked at the after hours spot. She was serving drinks. Guys was giving her all this because she looked at, no, bitch, you was trying to fuck on a hustler. Stop all that. Stop it. Said that nobody could touch, so he really couldn't fight. And then once he did start fighting, he started getting, he was real violent. I'm talking about he fought to win, like almost to the point of trying to kill you. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, from what I seen, and so apparently this is something I found out. So y'all remember on Paid in Full when Rico, who was based on Alpo Martinez, would be videotaping, that videotape showing tape to him get it on with a chick. Apparently Diddy was doing that to women all the time, showing them at parties and stuff. So I was like, I never put two and two together because I've heard he be doing that, but then until they broke it down, I said, oh shit, he is from Harlem, Alpo's from Harlem. So that's where he got that from Rico on Paid in Full, the real Rico, Alpo from Paid in Full. He was doing that. I'm gonna tell you why I think this man just became sexual deviant and just his shit went left. I think once he got up under Andre Harrell's wing, because he actually lived with Andre Harrell. I think this went out. I think Andre Harrell had did something to him. Because I'm going to be honest, like looking at old interviews and stuff with Andre Harrell seemed like, he don't seem like he liked the ladies too much. And even when he died, I remember looking at stuff, I'm like, man, it seemed like he a little, he like what he got. And you know what I'm saying? So I think, like how what they rumored, what they said they think Quincy Jones did with Michael Jackson. That's the rumor. I'm confident that may be more than a rumor with Andre Harrell and Diddy. Cause it was just stuff he was doing. Like, and he was notorious for just taking people. Well, I ain't know if he saw a woman that you had, he run down. Like he took Eric Sermon, like a woman or his woman. And then Eric Sermon even said the woman, Misa, his Justin's mom, said, this wasn't even my old lady. This was just a friend of mine. Isolated her from him, and everybody just had her depending on him. I thought Al B. Sure and Kim Porter broke up, come to find out. He stole from Al B. Sure. And the way Al B. Sure was talking, I've heard this about Al B. Sure. I heard Al B. Sure get down the same way I heard about Christopher Williams. So that light-skinned brother shit, like, cause Al B. Sure was talking like, man, look, you want it, you gotta, like, man, like, my heart don't pump no Kool-Aid. You know what it is. And it's funny because all the people they interviewed, they were talking about Diddy's rap. They like, that man ain't got no talent. And found this out, he be screwing over his art because he's jealous of their talent. He is like extremely jealous of their talent. He wish he had what they had, which I want to say that to anybody out there. If you are doing something with somebody and you are excelling at it better than they are, but they kind of in a position to help you along, and you need to like kind of watch them closely. Because, and not just that, just anything, like if you in a group, like if you a dude and all the women flock to you, or if you are ladies and all the men flock to you, because I'm going to be honest, I've had this. I dated a woman like this. Now, it didn't work out between us. And I'm not proud to say this, but this was years ago. I was younger. To get back at this young lady, I decided to mess with her homegirl. So, mess with her homegirl, and I'm noticing every time something happened, my homegirl's always telling me, she was out doing this, she was doing that, she made a fool, she got drunk. I'm like, why are you coming back, running back, and telling me this? I don't care. And then, I'm going to be honest, I matured. We reconciled, not like we got back together, but we was cordial with each other. And I'm noticing this girl still running this woman's name through the mud. She still running that woman's name. So then I peeped it. And I realized why she was willing to hook up with me. I'm like, oh, you are friends with her because you know she bring the men in. But when she start acting a fool, getting drunk and all that, you know you can backdoor and get them in. By this time, everybody drunk, everybody horny. So you can go on here and get the dub. She's the bait to get them in. You're not really friends with her. And the reason she don't want you to stop drinking and acting a fool, you don't want her to stop drinking and acting a fool, because you scared of that girl's potential. You know that girl will rise to the top. So you keep her drunk and high all the time to stop her from reaching her full potential. And that's kind of like somewhat what Puffy was doing. Oh yeah, speaking of Biggie, I found this out. So him and Biggie really wasn't friends like he tried to make it out after they dealt. And then on top of this, that funeral that Biggie had all through Bed-Stuy, through Brooklyn and all that, Diddy had it to where that man had to pay for that. Like out of his estate, he funded his own funeral. That is the craziest of crazy work. That is just downright scat. Like I said, this man, from what I've seen in this, he ain't just on demon time. This nigga on Lucifer time. He is the devil himself. Like if he come down to hell, Lucifer probably gonna be like, oh hell, not that motherfucker, and take off running, you know. And just, we all knew he was egotistical, you know, like that's where the daddy and Puff Daddy come from, because like they call the studio Daddy's house and all. I'm like, what's up with this man, the infatuation with being somebody's daddy? But no, what he did, like they had interviews with everybody, like they talk about like Aubrey O'Day, like what she said he did in that email, telling her he want to fuck her senseless and all that, and he thinking about he got to get back to masturbating. He be thinking about. I'm like, okay. Eric Sermon was like, he almost had to piece him up. Al B. Sure was like, that man ain't got no talent. Then they had this producer named Lil Rob, and the stuff Lil Rob was saying he was doing, was supposed to promise him $250,000 for the album he did, and all he gave him was $29,000. Day 26, who I am so mad he dropped the ball with them. I love Day 26, man. Like they song Since You Been Gone, that used to be a banger to me. I used to play that and I ain't even have nobody I was missing. Kirk Burroughs talked about what he did. Like how he like backdoored him, then said he sexually assaulted, and that's his friend from childhood who he founded Bad Boy with. Craig Mack's wife said how scandalous he was, wouldn't give him, said he had a whole pocket full of money they needed. Money they put out like a stack of like about $50K. Big Wad, and just peeled off one $100 bill and gave it to him. Now I'm gonna tell you somebody who sounded like she was fishy. She just only liked it because it was benefiting her until she realized that her life was in danger. Then all of a sudden, like, oh shit, I need to get Capricorn Clark. I just her interview. I was like, nah, you talking about how much of a mom? No, you liked it while it was good. While it was good, it was cool. And while it was happening to everybody else, you ain't mind. But then when it came and to your doorstep, now all of a sudden, now it's a tragedy. So I had to take what she said with a grain of salt. Now I'm gonna tell you who we didn't hear from. And I really kind of wanted, because they talked to Aubrey O'Day. It was this group called Dream. White girls. I remember they used to be like all on Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. They had this song called He Loves Me, He Loves You Not. Like, he loves me, he loves you not. We didn't hear from them. And I found a documentary on YouTube. Y'all need to look them up. I think it's called Dream Becomes a Nightmare. They was talking about all the shit he had them doing, had them starving themselves. They were like 15, 16. He was dressing them up, over-sexualizing them, and all that type of stuff. We ain't hear from them. And I've been saying this since the beginning. Where in the hell is Mace and Farnsworth Bentley? We don't hear shit from either one of them. I guess they be like, look, I don't want no parts of this. Because when this man get out, I don't need him coming my way. I'm trying to stay out the way. I don't need none of that smoke. And then on top of that, we ain't heard nothing from J-Lo. We ain't heard nothing from J-Lo. I'm going to say we ain't heard nothing from J-Lo for two reasons. One, is because J-Lo ended up becoming a star. It worked in her favor. So she's like, I ain't finna look a gift horse in the mouth. And two, like I said, that Diddy had her duck. I've been saying this via that the Diddy had her ducking shots in the club with Shine that night. She ain't trying to be nowhere near him. You don't hardly see her fucking with niggas no more anyway. She like, fuck y'all. I don't want nothing to do with that no more. I just kind of wanted to see J-Lo just because I wanted to see her because she's nice to look at. That's the only why I wanted to see her. I know she's not going to probably add nothing of value to this. I just want to look at J-Lo because I like J-Lo. And y'all know that. But I will say this about this documentary. Knowing what we know now in this documentary about how he was, everything had to be about him. Now, hey, Suge Knight wasn't the bad guy. The 1995 Sorcerer when he said, anybody want to be a star, don't have to worry about the producer, all on the videos, all on the records, dancing, come to death row. So Suge Knight, this wasn't them times Suge Knight was actually being a decent dude. Who'd have thunk it? Crazy, right? Yeah. Anyway, that's been my time on the porch, man. I know I was on here for a little bit, but hey, man, I had to get through that. Next week is going to be, since it's also we getting close to the end of the year, it's going to be the end of the season. So I'm going to try to do a wrap up of the season, probably a wrap up of 2025 period. You know, y'all know how to find me on Facebook. Look up my name, Pete McCorvey. Y'all can find me on Instagram, PeteMac10, PeteYmac10. Y'all can also find me on TikTok, PeteMac10, same as Instagram, just dropped. No, it's not PeteMac10, excuse me, PeteMac89. Same as TikTok, just dropped the 1 to 0, put an 8 and a 9 there. You know the drill. Until next week, be cool, stay calm, and get paid. Peace.